welcome to the main Positive Images Festival Poetry Workshop for April 2021. Excellent news, we have 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, so thank you so much. Huge special thank you to Anne and Tracy, who went above and beyond spreading the word about the subscribe button, and look out for one of Anne's poems at the end of this video. I'll put a link to it. It's a beautiful poem that was created for a special project to do with food and the joy of food, so enjoy that. If you've just listened to the previous sort of 5-minute exercise from this month, then we'll have been doing all about food poetry on there, and you will have seen a link to the Carrag Poetry Buffet as well. So let's get started. I always put like that there's supposed what's coming up, and I've forgotten to put it in, so I'll have to remember what's coming up. It's not in my script. We've got I always say that word wrong, ekphrastic poetry, which is basically poetry and art, so that's exciting. I've got a best practice quote from a well-known poet. I have got you this is why I need my script. I've got you some words, like word game that you can make into a poem, where we're looking at abstract nouns. Just stay with me, it's going to be great, we'll have loads of fun. Okay, so we'll start with ekphrastic poetry. Ekphrasis, which is what the word ekphrastic comes from, is actually a Greek word, and it means description. So ekphrastic poetry is a posh way of saying a poem that is either inspired by or includes in it, in a big way, a piece of art, either real or imagined. This one I really like. I'm going to pop the art that it's inspired by up now, and also I'll try and, this will be fun, I'll run the poem alongside it so that you can see both, because I think it helps to look at the picture and the words at the same time. So wish me luck with that. You'll see before I do if it's worked. Okay, so this is Not My Best Side by U.A. Fanthorpe. Let me tell you about Fanthorpe as well while this picture's up. So, U.A. Fanthorpe, 1929 to 2009, spent her earliest years in Kent. She only began writing when she turned her back on her teaching career to become a receptionist at a psychiatric hospital. Since that relatively late start that she had, she became a prolific writer, produced 9 full-length collections of poetry, including the Fulwood Prize nominated Safe as Houses and the Poetry Book Society recommendation Consequences. She was awarded a CBE in 2001 and the Queen's Gold Medal for Poetry in 2003. So, another cool poet that we've got going on. Not my best side. Not my best side, I'm afraid. The artist didn't give me a chance to pose properly, and as you can see, poor chap, he had this obsession with triangles. So he left off 2 of my feet. I didn't comment at the time. What, after all, are 2 feet to a monster? But afterwards, I was sorry for the bad publicity. Why, I said to myself, should my conqueror be so ostentatiously beardless and ride a horse with a deformed neck and square hoofs? Why should my victim be so unattractive as to be inedible? And why should she have me literally on a string? I don't mind dying, ritually, since I always rise again, but I should have liked a little more blood to show they were taking me seriously. And that was inspired by the picture by Paolo Uccello's St. George and the Dragon. So that's why I picked this, because you know, yesterday being St. George's Day, actually by the time you watch this it would have been a few days ago that was St. George's Day. But either way, I hope you had a good one. So, do you have a favourite piece of art? Is it a picture on the wall of your front room? Is it something you remember from childhood or that you've seen on the internet but can't afford? Is it something that you've seen in a gallery? Or in, you know, there's art pops up everywhere. There's these beautiful murals popping up in the middle of town at the moment. I also like going for a walk by the canal basin in Coventry and up along the towpath and seeing the different pieces of what some people would say were graffiti, but graffiti art that's on the walls. So it comes in all forms. Back to the poem that we've just read then. So Fanthorpe obviously was inspired, didn't necessarily like, we don't know whether she liked or disliked the image, but certainly felt inspired to write something as a result of it. And I love the humour that comes out in this one, the voice of the dragon saying that, you know, that the feet are missing because the I was going to say the poet, the artist liked the triangular shape. Like, I don't mind being killed because I always rise again, but I would have liked a little more blood. So it's really interesting for me how she's given the dragon this voice, and it's comedic. That said, I do think it's another one where you could read more into it about how the idea of other, like the dragon being something that was seen as bad or different, is depicted in this piece of art. And, you know, he doesn't feel that the woman was very beautiful and worthy of being something he would eat. Again, you can consider how then maybe women were portrayed in art. And it's interesting that he doesn't find her beautiful enough, because sometimes there's the criticism, isn't there, that all the women that you see in like images are very beautiful, overly beautiful. So there's a lot again to explore in this one. I should also say that is an extract. It's a long poem. Do look the rest of it up because it's fabulous. But I hadn't got time to include it all here. Your challenge then: have a go at some ekphrastic poetry. If there's nothing that jumps to mind from like a gallery or something you've seen there, have a look around. I'm just looking around what I might have here that I could write about. I haven't, very random, I've got been selling stuff on eBay at the moment. I'm not selling this one, but I've got a corgi bus. I mean, it's still art. It's something that can be displayed. So really do have a look. Anything could be art, so you will have something. And I will see you in the next activity. Welcome back. I hope you had fun writing about art, because art and poetry go so beautifully together. You know, both very creative forms, so it's nice to mix these things in occasionally, I feel, or more than occasionally if you feel. So let's have a bit of a quick write challenge. Hopefully you've got pen and paper in front of you, or a phone or a tablet or anything that you can write on. What I would like you to do, don't think about it too much. Have a look around your room, have things that pop into your head. Make a list of 5 objects. So if I was looking around my room, my objects might be board game, keyboard, chair. You know, they don't have to be fancy. Jumper. Go with it. Just 5 objects, 5 things you can see, or that just come into your head for whatever reason. You know, maybe think of a different room in the house. What have you got in the kitchen or in the bedroom or outside? Alrighty, so aim for 5. When you've done that, I'd like you to make another list of, again, 5 abstract nouns. That's a posh way of saying emotions or feelings. So love or joy and happiness, they're all abstract nouns. Maybe try and think of a few obscure ones. I'll have a drink of water while you just do that. Okay. So, it's alright, probably guinea pig hair. I've got a poem for you, and this is by Adrian Henry. Or Henry, I think it's Henry, but it's with an I, as in Thierry. So Adrian Henry, Born 10th of April 1932, died 20th of December 2000, was a British poet and painter, best remembered as the founder of poetry rock group The Liverpool Scene, and as one of the 3 poets in the best-selling anthology The Mersey Sound, along with Brian Patton and Roger McGough. We've previously, in my workshops, in-person ones, I don't think on here yet, we've previously looked at Brian Patton and Roger McGough. So I feel like we've completed the set with this one, Adrian Henry. And this is called Love Is. Love is feeling cold in the back of vans. Love is a fan club with only 2 fans. Love is walking, holding paint-stained hands. Love is. Love is fish and chips on winter nights. Love is blankets full of strange delights. Love is when you don't put out the light. Love is. Love is the presents in Christmas shops. Love is when you're feeling top of the pops. Love is what happens when the music stops. Love is. Love is white panties lying all forlorn. Love is a pink nightdress still slightly warm. Love is when you have to leave at dawn. Love is. Love is you and love is me. Love is prison and love is free. Love's what's there when you're away from me. Love is. So in this one he repeated the phrase throughout the poem, but you don't have to. What I'd like you to do is look back at your list and see if you can have fun. Take one of the objects and take one of the emotions. So maybe you've got something like joy is a chair, and see what that leads you to think, or hope is a cardboard box. You know, just mix them up, and sort of the more quirky the better, I think, with this. So you could have love is a placemat. I don't know, there's loads. There's whatever you've got on your list. Have a go at moving a few of them and see which you like. If there's one that particularly grabs you, use it as the title for your poem. So if I'd got joy is a onesie, which to me it probably is, then have that as your title and have a go at writing a poem from that. So you don't have to do it in the style of Adrian Henry. You can do it so that you can explore it in your own way, just the one idea, rather than repeating it. If you want to repeat it and make a poem like Adrian Henry's, that's also fine too. There's no wrong way of doing these activities. The point is that it gets you thinking and writing something. And if out of the whole session you've got one poem that you think you could go away and work on, or you've just enjoyed doing them, and that's the end of it, then that's job done as far as I'm concerned. That's great. So explore the idea, have fun, and I'll see you in the next challenge. Okay, as promised, I've got a best practice quote for you. Sometimes I imagine that a poem, like an artwork, is always there. It sort of pre-exists, and our job, or my job as an artist, is to unearth it, to perform the steps to help it be born, or perform the rituals to reveal it. And that was from Pamela Snead. So that's a longer one this time. But I love that idea that a poem's always there, it's pre-existing and we have to just discover it. Pamela Snead is a New York-based poet, writer and actress. She's been featured in the New York Times magazine, the New Yorker, Time Out, Bomb, Vibe and the cover of New York magazine. Her work's also been included in the anthology The 100 Best African American Poems, which is edited by Nikki Giovanni. So I thought this was a nice opportunity for you just to reflect, because reflection is important with creativity. What inspires you and how can you seek that out? How can you unearth it? You know, what poems do you need to go and explore? So there's something I will leave you with, and we'll just move gently on to our final activity. This also is not a poetry writing activity, this is more of a reflection activity. I would like you to think about one of your favourite poems. I know that's really hard. I probably couldn't pick one, but try, just one that jumps to mind. And And maybe it's one that's got you through like a difficult time. Maybe it was read at a significant event that means something to you. Or maybe it's just one of those that you keep on your bookshelf and you open up again and again because you just really like reading it. I would like you to think about the following, which you will nicely see on the screen. Which line is your favourite? Why do you like this poem? What parts of this person's work do you admire? And is there anything in it, is there something that you can bring into your own poetry? Also, feel free in the comments to put the title of your poem in, or the poet that you're thinking of, because that'd be a really nice way for other people to look up the different poems that people who have watched these sessions have thought about, because I do miss our interactions in our real life setting. So it would be great if you could let me know and let other people know what poems you're thinking of. That would be lovely. And I guess the point of this is that there's always something good that you can take and not copy, but use in your own, that you can take on from other people and use in your own poetry. Because if you enjoy reading it, you'll probably enjoy writing it as well. Thank you again to everybody who supports these sessions, to Positive Images Festival, and I hope that this has helped inspire you creatively and encourage you to have fun being creative and writing. If it's done that, then my work here is done, and I will see you again on Sunday the 30th of May 2021. Also, just to remind you, there's going to be that special session in June for National Refugee Week and Coventry Welcomes Week, where we will be specifically focusing on poems from a variety of cultures. So that is something to look forward to. I know we try and do that anyway in these sessions, but that's going to be the main theme of that workshop. Have fun, happy writing, see you soon. Bye.